Rashford, Roony Bardghji, Ferran Torres, Lewandowski, Raphinha, and of course Yamal. Barcelona has the scariest attack in the world currently. They won 3 domestic trophies last season and reached their first Champions League semi-final since 2019. But what's most impressive is that they did it without spending hundreds of millions. Barcelona doesn't need massive signings, just Raphinha, Yamal and Lewandowski, players that one season before nobody trusted. However, now they have added more signings and this team looks simply insane. But how scary is Barcelona's attack really? What Barcelona missed last season was proper squad depth, and against Inter Milan this problem was visible to the entire world. In the last minutes of the game Barca struggled. They needed to make changes but they had no one on the bench. Not to mention that when Koundé and Balde went injured, the players who replaced them were just nowhere near it. This season though, it's different. It's been clear for everyone that the club searched for a new left winger. The options they had were Nico Williams, Rashford or Luis Diaz, and they got Rashford. Many fans initially didn't react well to this signing, but thinking about it, it's a no-risk transfer. Barca didn't permanently sign him. A loan deal with an option to buy is a no-brainer. Also, finally, Rashford is the only player that actually fits Neymar's profile, and if we look at it this way, he is the only replacement for Neymar. Rashford likes to stretch the opponent's defense. He's not someone like Raphinha who likes to drop deeper and move centrally. He just stays on the wing, which will make space for Pedri and Lewandowski. But unlike many people think, Rashford was not brought here to be a winger. He's a short-term replacement for Lewandowski and will be there when he gets injured. Still, with that being said, Rashford will compete to be a starter, and under Hansi Flick, I genuinely believe this guy could become a monster of a forward. I also have to mention that the one who wanted this signing most is Hansi Flick, and you surely can't doubt Flick after what he did for Barca. There is only one if with Rashford. Can he get back to his top form here? Because if he does, he will be unstoppable, and who knows who he will bench next season. Moving on, another scary attacker is Lewandowski. 42 goals and 3 assists in 52 appearances. The second best goal scorer in La Liga, only behind Kylian Mbappe. Who does that at 36 years old? But what's even more impressive is that just one season ago everyone said that Lewandowski is finished, that he can't score and he just should be sold to Saudi Arabia. However, he proved everyone wrong, and even more, he is now an essential part of Barcelona's success. Not only is he a great striker, but he is also a leader for this team filled with young players. Lewandowski is disciplined and could teach players like Yamal how to work hard and maybe even be a little more humble. Cause you know, Yamal struggles with that. Also, the same argument with Rashford goes with Lewandowski. Under Hansi Flick, this guy simply plays differently. He is the best forward in the world. But starting next season, Lewandowski will have to focus on his role as a leader more, because he will reportedly get reduced playing time next season. However, even with that, Leva can be more dangerous in key moments and when things don't work. He could come off the bench and punish the opposition with his elite finishing. And one more player who has elite finishing is Raphinha. Unlike Yamal and Rashford, Raphinha doesn't have the same hype surrounding his name, and everybody perfectly saw it during the Ballon d'Or updated rankings, where instead of being first, Raphinha was placed 6th. If you were to ask me, this guy is the most underrated player from Barcelona, and the fact that he had a 59 goal contribution season and nobody talks about it should tell you enough. People also forget that Raphinha matched Ronaldo's goal contributions record in the Champions League, 20 goals and assists in 13 matches. He is now the Barcelona player with the most goal contributions in a UCL campaign ever. Not even Messi has that, and still it feels like nobody cares. But that will only make Raphinha stronger. We already know that he thrives when fans doubt him, and I can see him have another 60 goal contributions season again. With Rashford here, he may even start as an attacking midfielder and get to play in the position he's most comfortable in. Raphinha will also step up when we will need him most, and he can have a very positive influence on our next attacker on the list, who is Roony Bardghji, a wildcard. Although he was signed for the B team, he will appear often with the first team next season, just like he did against Vissel Kobe. And let me tell you one thing, he looked extremely impressive. He has a similar profile to Lamine Yamal. That's not to say he can do what Yamal does, but they are similar. Roony is really explosive, direct and physically strong. He is only 19, but his confidence is insane. He doesn't care if it's the 90th minute or a crucial match in the Champions League. He will finish the chances he has. And he is also a massive Barcelona fan. Look at these photos with him in the Barca kits. I'm telling you that because Barca need players who love the club, who dream of being here and don't just wait for the paycheck. Roony will come off the bench often, and he adds even more depth in the attacking position. He is someone who will be here when Yamal needs to rest, and who knows, maybe he will even replace him. Nothing is guaranteed for Roony, and yet everything is possible. By the way, did you know his nickname is the Swedish Messi? Look at how he plays and you'll understand why. This guy is a Messi fan and said he watched hours and hours of compilations with Leo, basing his game on how Messi saw it. And honestly, you can really sense that. We have an incredible player on our hands, and the best part, nobody knows about him, so he won't have that pressure on his shoulder because of expectations. But that's not the case for our next player, Lamine Yamal. This summer, Yamal was everywhere on the news, not for the best reasons. Girls older than him, like way older, a birthday party with dwarves, and ego problems. But as a player, he became even better, and he is still only 18. Dribbling, skills, finishing, trash talking, and turning up in the big moments. Yamal has it all, and his chemistry with Lewandowski and Raphinha is perfect. But in 2025-2026, it will get even better. They are playing their last season together because it's Lewandowski's last year in Europe, and certainly they won't let that end without a Champions League title. Talking about Yamal, you just give him the ball, sit back and relax. He will do things for you. He has now grown, he became better at his game, and he is stronger physically. Looking at his numbers last season, 18 goals and 25 assists in 55 games, it just shows that Yamal only keeps improving. In 2025-2026, his finishing product will be crazy, and I genuinely think that 30 goals for him and 30 assists will be his numbers. Maybe even more. But what will push Yamal's performances even more is that now he has the number 10 shirt. The biggest pride in Barcelona, and also the hardest pressure to overcome. He follows into Messi's footsteps, the biggest Barca legend ever, and not so long ago, Ansu Fati had the same task to complete, but he ultimately failed, and now he is at Monaco. So this is not an easy mission. Hopefully, Yamal will mature in 2025-2026. The only thing he has to perfect is his decision making. However, one problem Barca had with Yamal last season was being too dependent on him. When Yamal wasn't playing, Barcelona struggled a lot to create chances. And because he was always playing, he looked tired in some games, especially in that match against Inter Milan. He tried again and again, but at the end of the match he was exhausted. He couldn't get rest even in the summer, as he played with the Spanish national team in the Nations League. But with Roony in the team, this should no longer be a problem, and on paper, with Yamal always rested, Lewandowski in good form, Raphinha looking for revenge, and Rashford being back to his best, this team cannot be beaten. Literally, nothing stops it from winning the Champions League. But wait, because we are not even done yet. One player who almost everyone forgets is Ferran Torres. Just one season ago, he was the guy that everyone mocked, saying that he can't score goals, finish his chances, or even be useful at anything he does. But now Ferran Torres is a super sub, a wild card that can change games in a second. This season has been his best in a while, scoring 19 goals and providing 7 assists in 45 games. But it's not even about numbers when it comes to Ferran Torres. He has something special to offer, and that's to come off the bench and change games. If he accepts that this is his job and becomes the best at it, then Barca will have an option when something doesn't go their way or the game is just too slow. He can press, score, provide an assist and create spaces. From all the other players I've mentioned, Ferran is the least known one, but that doesn't mean he isn't a great player. He can also play on the left, right and central, meaning that Ferran can literally replace every attacker on the team. With that being said, this is exactly why Barcelona's attack is looking really scary. If you liked this video, check this one about the most hated and loved Barcelona players ever.